Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let's talk some XRP. And in this video, I want to go over the good and the bad argument to be made. And if you are a holder of XRP, make sure that you guys stick around to the end of this video, and I'll give you my thoughts as we go. But if you are an XRP holder or you're looking to obtain some more XRP or just join the XRP Army, I do want to share with you guys both ends of the argument that I do think is relevant right here as we wrap up 2025. Because as we get into kind of what the market's doing, we'll look at the crypto bubbles and XRP's chart as a whole. There's a lot of people out there thinking that XRP could go to $2. And then also on the other end of that spectrum, a lot of people out there in the market that do view XRP as being the potential for the greatest asset of our lifetime. Okay, so let's break it all down. If you are new to the channel, hit that like button. Please subscribe down below. My name's Mark. For those of you that do not know, we talk crypto every day on the channel, and I do want to share with you guys my viewpoints on this, and I will, like I said, give you my personal opinion. Okay, but before we get further into this, if you do trade crypto on a spot or leverage trader basis, if you are a leverage trader, I do use BITUNIX myself personally. This is the exchange that I'm affiliated with. So if you do want to sign up with them, start trading, there's a hot promotion going on right now, 25% bonus to your futures trading account. Okay, so deposit 2,000 USDT, you will get a bonus 500 USDT right there in your account. So who doesn't like free money? Just make sure that it's right for you, where you're located, and understand their terms and conditions, and that it's the best financial decision for you personally, okay? As this is not financial advice, just sharing with you guys kind of what's going on with my personal opinions in the market as we get deeper into this, okay? But as we talked about it, the first and foremost thing that we want to look into, let's get the bad out of the way, and then we can start hammering the good. If XRP were to crash to $2, okay, all bearish signs are still there. This is just as of recent, and we are seeing Bitcoin kind of trickle down to 113. Kind of interesting to note, Ethereum has shown some strength now, reclaiming $4,000. But for XRP, we have seen a move 10.6% up into the green, and albeit essentially flat on the day, XRP still trading at $2.65 currently, okay? But let's talk about these bearish signals, as we do want to see kind of the outlook. But in the short term, we do have some bearish momentum going on right now, and that's where you see the failure to maintain above 200-day EMAs, and then also breaking through that 50-day. That's where we had a little bit of a brief recovery, but trying to move to that, back to that 270, 280 range, did kind of get rejected, and then obviously continuing that downtrend. Now, this is kind of where we've continued that pattern of lower highs being formed by XRP's price trends since August. Now, as we keep getting these rejections, that's where you have to kind of look into the potential for a bigger, significant correction. And like I said, guys, I will tie this all up at the end and give you my thoughts. I'm just sharing with you guys some of the bearish indicators along the way, all right? But right now, we are in a very neutral stance in all of crypto. Not sure if it's going to be bearish, bullish. Traders are indecisive. And as we do look at the RSI, it's very neutral, okay? Slightly shifted towards overbought, but not enough to make a classification. But also, there's a lot of, I guess you would say, stale money with XRP, okay? Not any significant new inflows. And I think that's kind of what's triggered some exhaustion as we do look at the short to intermediate momentum for XRP. Okay, so if we don't get anything coming from the outside, if we don't get any new catalysts, no new stimulus of the chart and the price action, that's kind of where you would lend towards the conversation. Maybe we do get some exhaustion and XRP kind of fails to maintain upwards momentum. Now that's the argument to be made, tying together those bearish indicators and just kind of treading water, if you will, at the price levels that we're at right now, waiting for a bigger macro move. That's the argument to be made, that XRP is just, like I said, they're just kind of treading water at $2.60, and without any true catalyst to kind of vault us back above $3. If we do have something macro hit or something that would trigger more of a sell-off, more panic, more fear, you could make the very firm argument that XRP could see a situation where they do find themselves trading down below at the $2 level once again. Okay, but kind of shifting gears and talking about the good case to be made, and as you do look at it, kind of the stance I take. I'm not a fanboy. I don't do the pom-pom thing when we talk crypto. This is some serious stuff, but I do kind of lend towards the argument that XRP will be one of the greatest financial opportunities of our lifetime. Okay. And that's, in my opinion, kind of what I share, because they've done something that no other crypto does do. And I kind of lump them into a category that's in its own right. Okay. There's no XRP and this crypto, right? You could talk about layer ones, you could talk about AI, RWAs, kind of just that infrastructure, crypto niche, gaming, right? And how all those categories lead to meme coins into a different ranking, classification, a distribution of your portfolio, your allocation, right? But for me, XRP kind of is in its own niche. It's just XRP, okay? Because I think it does something that outpaces in some form or fashion, kind of, I guess you would say, speaks for itself, okay? Because no other crypto really does what XRP is trying to do. Now, in a recent commentary, an analyst, Unknow DLT, projects that XRP will become one of the greatest opportunities, not only of this lifetime, but for future generations. Now, this is something where we've talked about the growing commentary and arguing that the current market recognition falls short of its true potential. I kind of agree with that. And adding to this optimism, we've talked about the comments from Brad Garlinghouse reaffirming XRP's central role in the vision for the company, okay? Saying that the token is the heartbeat of Ripple's long-term strategy, building an internet of value, okay? What it comes down to is kind of all of these, the reserves and just the ways that we've seen the integrations and everything that's being set up. And I'm talking about integrations and long-form partnerships with big corporations, okay? This is kind of the collaboration that we want in the space that transcends what Ripple's doing on an individual basis, okay? They're gonna need some help, right? You don't become who you wanna become without using and linking up with other similar-minded companies and objective entities that I think that will take XRP and Ripple, for that matter, to where they need to go. Okay, most recently, we talked about the SBI Holdings, Trianglo, the cross-border transaction partnerships with Ripple. Right, we're going to need the banks, and it's going to be something where you look into this. And for us, and when it comes to its value, it's going to be the cross-border payments. Okay, and the full impact, and this is where I 100% agree with Unknown DLT. You can't really look at the charts, the price action, the recent movements, the technical analysis, and past performance and say, okay, well, this is what defines Ripple. This is what defines XRP. Even when XRP was trading at 60 cents, I had this same vision, okay? This is something where we look 10, 20 years down the pipe. And I know a lot of traders are out there saying, I might not even be alive in 10 years, okay? And I fully agree with that. But, the same kind of adage did apply when we were in the 90s and late 80s and looking into the tech boom and all of that stuff within, Microsoft, Apple, and nobody really thought. And I think those traders that did take the approach where they didn't care where they'd be in 10, 20 years, that did buy into that rainbow colored Apple with really some strange technology sitting where they are right here, right now. I think that everybody's in a better spot who was able to make that decision. Okay. So if we want to talk about transcending traditional banking system, XRP has that forefront, has that argument to be made. They are the front runner, in my opinion. And this is something where we look into creating a new financial system that would last at least 70 years plus in the horizon in that time frame. Okay, so that's kind of where I look for the boom and the best case scenario for XRP. It's not $2 XRP, it's not $5 XRP. Okay, and relatively speaking to that price, the price of XRP is kind of all irrelevant, because if XRP gets to where it's going to with what they're setting out to do with cross-border payments, we're not even really at 10%, okay? And that's just to put it in perspective. Imagine a day where XRP gets to 100%, okay? Not saying it's going to happen, but just that speculation is enough to keep XRP in that conversation, that it has the very rare opportunity to be the best crypto asset of my lifetime as well. So that's kind of my thoughts on the matter. Leave a comment down below. What do you guys feel about it? If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do so now. Thank you all for tuning in. Remember, if you do want to start trading on BITUNIX, you can find that in the description box down below. That link will get you that sign up promotion. And thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.